whenever I go anywhere, I like to go into craft stores and see what they have, especially in Europe, because you can find some different materials. And what I found in Belgium was these cubes. They had been pre-drilled straight up and down. I was like, oh, excellent. I don't have to try to use the drill, because if I use the drill and I try to drill a lot of holes, it's going to be like this. So, made it perfect. And I just took bamboo skewers, put them in, put a little glue on them, glue them in. If you don't want to use hot glue, you want it to be more sustainable, you could always use like an almond glue. There's an Italian one that's really great. It takes a little more time to dry, but it would be easy in this. And I attached water tubes. Water tubes are covered with raffia in this case, and little bits of Kyogi paper. So the way I do the water tubes, I want to show it because I think it's important. So generally I'll take a piece of paper covered wire and I double it because I want it to be strong, because very often when you've got like fine wire, it can snap very easily, so I generally will double it. Just to make it a little stronger. And water tubes, you can cover it or not cover it, it's up to you. I'm perfectly okay with water tubes being shown that aren't covered. You notice a lot of mine are covered here, but these are only covered because they were already covered. And I thought, well, it saves me some work, so I can just kind of make it. So what I do is wrap it around. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 times. And I'll take this and kind of tighten it just a little bit. Maybe that so it won't move, hopefully.
Who did that?
Yeah. So basically I'm going around again. You do it 2 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can go more. I'm just trying to make sure that pliers help a lot with that too. So now I've got a little space in between, and I can just attach it to a stick, and attach it to this, into the branch, or one of these. And I'll take the pliers and do it this way, so that I can get it really tight, so it won't slip. Attach that on. So now it's on tight, and got this. I can move it, I can turn it, I can do this, I can turn it in different directions, so it's not just straight up and down. And so that's what I've done here with all of these. So, now the flowers. Beautiful anemones. I was really happy when I saw these anemones from the wholesaler because they arrived and they were open. I was like, oh, perfect. So here's a red flower that's absolutely beautiful. So you just never know. And I love questions. If anyone has questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Where do you get your flowers?
These all came from Potomac. There's maybe a few things that came from Trader Joe's. I kind of just, it depends on price. I'll say like for miniature calla lilies, I'll buy those from Trader Joe's because the price is just a fraction of what they charge at wholesale, unfortunately.
How long would you?
Lilies, like 3 to 5 days. They don't really have a long waste life. But it depends. And if you get them in there really tight, they start to open and you might get keep more out of it. And this structure is so simple to make.
So is there water already in the tubes?
There's already water already in the tubes, and the way you add it is I use this. This is a test tube filler. You can buy these on Amazon. You can buy them in packs of 3 or 6 or 1. They're pretty cheap. They're great to have. They're great to add if you just have arrangements and you need to add water into an arrangement. Because sometimes you can't get into the arrangement to be able to actually pour basic water or sugar water in, and that's a really good way to do it.
They're also great for flowers.
Yeah.
For what?
Succulents. So I'm going to add in some of this beautiful dianthus.
So I missed at the beginning, you were talking about making the base. Is the base the same that you did use the wool, agro wool, and you're putting the picks in those, or did you already have it together?
The agri wool.
Your picks are, and what's the base?
The base is just a cube.
Just a cube?
Yep, just a wooden cube.
Thank you, sorry. I
Yeah.
missed that.
But when you said it's simple to put together, give us
Well, I bought the pre-drilled cube, so that's half the battle there.
That's a big thing.
Yeah, that is a big thing. And then I just put a little glue on the bamboo skewer and put it in, and add water tubes, and then a little bit of the kyogi paper. The kyogi paper is a Japanese paper. You get a very thin veneer. It's a great material, and I just cut it into little squares because I wanted to kind of repeat the shape here. Initially, this was going to be all paper in the center, and in like a purple color, and I thought it was just too much. And you can kind of tell there's kind of a theme going on for me. I very much like working with just neutral materials in this one. Yes,
You
Carmen?
said the agri wool was more sustainable.
Yes.
Is it reusable?
So, people say that the agri wool is reusable, because it kind of, if you feel it in the packages around, it kind of separates. So a lot of people say it is reusable. I've never tried to reuse it because it's obviously the first time I've used it. So, I'm curious as to what people's experiences are with it.
What exactly is the material?
It's basalt and I think some type of wool.
So it's basically.
Later is better.
It is.
Is it compostable?
That's a good question. I don't know. And I would love to know that from the manufacturer if it's compostable. Because I think that's what we really want.
Yeah.
We want something that's compostable. There's that one. Kyogi, it's Kyogi. So I buy the paper from
Yep.
a company, someone in Japan.
See this?
It's Green Gaves, G-A-V-E-S, greengaves.com. It's Gabrielle Kubo. She is a German designer. She's married to a Japanese designer and lived in Japan for many years. But she has a number of great products that I use. She always has something interesting that I go to. Like there's a material here that I bought from her. It's like a twist tie that looks like bamboo, but it's paper and water. So I love her products. And if you've ever seen Gregor work with it's like a waxed string. He gets that from her also. Kyogi.
And it's different from water paper, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's wood, it's a wood paper. When you feel it, it's basically, it's very thin veneer wood. There's a two thicknesses, one's really, really thin, one's a little thicker, but not much.
Agri-wool is compostable.
It is.
And
So now I have to go see, what am I putting in this? And some green chrysanthemums.
Approximately how many tubes is in each, block?
Let's see. About 10 to 12. The holes, there's 15 bamboo skewers in each one.
Have you used the designs you're using today to win any competitions like this?
Parts of them. You know, I think a lot of what I have here has been other designs. I like to reuse things. This actually was for plant composition for a book in China. So it's been used for something else, and I wanted to again like reuse it because I thought, well, it's a shame I don't want to make something for one thing and then just not have it be reused again. Yeah, they're wrapped in raffia, and the reason they're wrapped in raffia, not just plain, is because they were already wrapped in raffia. I had them in a box, and I was like, I want to reuse things, and it cuts down on my amount of work. So I save everything. I don't throw it away. I don't use it and then throw something out. It's oh yeah, I wrapped all this. So what I usually do is I use the U-glue tabs. It helps. I'll put two at the top and two at the bottom, and then just go. You can do it with glue, but it gets a little messier and it gets a little harder because the glue sets really fast and you've got to kind of work really quick. So I love these. They help a lot. Because otherwise what's going to happen is if you're trying to just wrap it and then maybe glue it at the top, yeah, it's going to slide off.
Did you use a hand drill to put your skewers in?
No, because the holes are already drilled. Yeah, it's one of the reasons I bought these cubes, because I saw them on the shelf and they had the holes already pre-drilled with a drill press. And I was like, okay, I can use these. Think smart when you're designing, look for things that you can add something to, like if it's something in a hardware store, if it's something in a home goods store. There's always a purpose, you know, why work harder?
And did you get your test tubes on Amazon?
Yeah, I usually buy a case of them.
Yeah, I bought a case of $2.50 for $10.
Yeah, because I go through something, and I save them too. So if there's tubes from, if there's tubes from, let's say like anthuriums or cymbidiums, I save all those tubes too because I like having different sizes.
Well, I think that's a much better idea for propagation, and Hilton Carter would be very unhappy to see how magnificent this is. And you know who I'm talking about. Don't you agree that would be outstanding for propagation, to use that for propagation?
Some people haven't seen it yet, so just checking where it is.
So sometimes I don't like working from this side of the table because I can't quite see what I'm doing, so don't mind if I turn things around a little bit. And now I'm trying to make some decisions. I was thinking about adding some banded orchids in, but I The vandas are purple.
What are they?
So just a few vandas. Just fill in the spots. Some of that kind of Georgian color. There we go.